I'm putting something on Instagram right now.
All right.
Doing major motion picture interview at Sydney Opera House. At Sydney Opera House. And there we go. Send and
Lovely
they were
bell.
in. All right, go ahead.
Barney, wow, I haven't seen you forever. Where have you been? What have you been doing?
Crikey, how you doing there? When you wanted to get together, I thought of the most famous place I could go to, the Sydney Opera House in Australia. So I went there, and it was a beautiful day out, sunny. Oh, the Opera House looked brilliant, but then I had to take a whiz. And when I came in here, the Wi-Fi was so much better, I thought I'd do my Zoom right here at Sydney Opera House's bathroom. Woo! It smells so Australian. It's like kangaroo and feces. It's really brilliant. I love it here. It's great.
Wow. Well, you're hitting all the tourist spots there. Sydney Opera
Yeah.
House, bathroom, and
Pretty cool, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Sydney. And the acoustics in here are incredible. I want to sing a song because the acoustics are just as good as they are out in the Opera House, I'm sure.
excellent. Excellent. Well, I'm glad that you're
Actually, I wrote a song about me. It goes, Barney in the bathroom. I'm still working on the chorus, so.
oh wow, it's gonna be a top 10. I can totally tell. That's awesome. All right. Just, I know you're into film and all that. So I was wondering, like, just off the top of my head, I have this question for you. Like, if a film producer or director came up to you and just asked you to describe your life, like, what would you tell them? What would you say?
Oh, wow. Good question. If a film producer, director came up to me and asked me what my life is like, oh, man, I'd say it's rocking, A lot of people look to me like I'm a hero. And of course, I am a hero in my own mind and to others around me, If I see a school bully, somebody bullies somebody, I'll say, hey, don't do that, mate. That's kind of I am. I'm not sure if it's true. It's rumored, and I probably shouldn't be saying this, but so far, Marvel Studios approached me about being in one of the Marvel movies about being a superhero because people heard of me, They don't have any Australian superheroes. Thor doesn't count because he's from Tasmania. So they're looking for an Australian superhero, and that's what I do. I help people help themselves help me. That's what I do. I see somebody down and out, I lift them up, give them some money, and then ask when I'll be paid back. So I help people help themselves, help me. The t-shirt's being made right now. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So my life is rocking. I'm not married yet. I had a girlfriend, but she don't. I mean, we had differences that couldn't coincide. But I'm better off for it. I'm single and ready to interact.
Yeah, that's awesome. You're getting out there and mingling and wanting to interact and all that.
Single and mingle. That rhymed. That's pretty good. I should have thought of that.
So, but the thing is, though, I heard this really crazy rumor about you that you've been like accused of being a con man. That can't be true, can it?
Well, you heard rumors about me being a con man. Okay, now that is totally untrue. All right. I did have my own brand of Vegemite, which wasn't actually Vegemite. I spelled the last thing different. So it wasn't actually Vegemite. is Vegemite, and it was actually made of mites. But all right, I didn't know all the things that went along with that. You know, the food rules. You know, they have. But you know, when I thought it's going to be a sandwich spread, it turned out to be mites. You know, what am I going to do? Is that my fault? Yes. I mean, was it illegal? Yes.
Yes.
But you know, Clark, how am I supposed to know all the rules of everything? And people accuse me of being a grifter. All right, and I do have some, you know, investments that people might say are shaky. You know, I invested in a couple of cement companies, and yeah, we'd use sugar sometimes. Who doesn't use sugar in their concrete? And so a couple buildings may have fallen down or something. But again, is that my fault? Yes. Am I being taken to court for it? Yes. But, you know, that doesn't make me a bad guy, does it? You know, just a couple little things here and there. You know, I can't help it if people don't read the fine print and things. Is that my fault?
Was anyone hurt
Probably.
when the buildings fell?
My attorney says I can't talk about that right now. And I represent myself, of course.
And I heard though the rumor that you've been like selling fake still lifes to people and taking, and then, you know, and you've never been caught for it. Is that true?
That is totally okay. That's true. That's true. I mean, that is basically true. All right. But there's a lot of idiosyncrasies that go on there, and a lot of people involved, a lot of legal mumbo jumbo that I'm sure you wouldn't understand, not being a lawyer representing themselves with no legal expertise like myself. But it may have been, may or may not been true. Let's use the word allegedly. Allegedly.
Awesome. Okay, well, it's good to hear that you've only been alleged, but it's not been proven. So that's good news. I've seen that sign before. I just can't remember. Where could that possibly have been? So
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, okay.
When I was taking a whiz, the acoustics of that urinal is incredible. It echoed for 2 minutes when I was taking a whiz.
I don't want to.
Incredible acoustics, let me tell you. Incredible.
Right. I will never forget that.
I mean, how are things when I was younger? Yeah, you know, it was tough. Former alcoholic
Okay.
for the last, 10 minutes I haven't had a drink, so former. But yeah, I started off pretty young. I was very mature for my age, very mature. I would, start off stealing hubcaps from cars, little things like that, mugging old ladies, just little things, starting off small. And then, maybe I moved on to, being a bully in high school. That's why I hate bullies, because I was one. And I know what's going through their mind, I beat up a lot of kids. I was big for my age. So I beat up a lot of kids, and, for little things, I admit that now. I can look back now and realize the pain I did. And, I make a point to go to these people's houses and knock on the door and say, hey, remember me? I stuck your head in the toilet. That was me. Oh, I'm sorry. I did that. All right. And, it makes me feel better. I got in a couple fights with people because they're like, I remember you. And they start crying. And then we get into a fight. And I usually kick their butt. But, the message that I'm trying to send, even though I do end up probably usually putting their head down their current toilet because it makes me mad when they get mad at me. I'm the nice guy here. I'm the nice guy. And I just revert back to being a bully and, but, that's on them for not accepting my apology. But so I am making amends by that, being a bully and stuff. But I've learned to accept being a bully, and I'm not one anymore, unless some people, they piss me off, and then I gotta go revert back. Uh, I was not good with animals. We had several animals growing up, and they didn't last too long with me. I don't want to get into it, but me and small animals didn't get along when I was younger. Uh, Hold on, let me get another shot here. Uh, all right, oh, that's a good one. That's gonna go. Let me do TikTok real quick. Hold on. Now, wait. Oh, yeah. So I started doing a lot of forgery, and so that got me into other things. But I have a real skill for that, real skill for forgery. I'm an artist, really. Oh, I am an artist. That's one of the things I do. I tried to work at different places. When I was younger, I tried to be a butcher, tried to be a painter. None of that really worked out. But now I am an artist. That's what I do.
So you went from being a butcher to an artist. Wow. That's a totally 180 degree. All right, cool. But you've always felt like an
Well,
artist.
I also did stand up. I was very successful stand-up comedian for a while there too. The people didn't really get my humor, but I would. My father had a grocery store, and there'd be people there, and I would follow them and yell at them my jokes. Sometimes I really had to yell. They were running away, so I had to chase them to yell and make sure they heard my joke. And I would yell it at them, and they just didn't get my humor. I have a specific type of humor, and a lot of people don't get that. Eventually, my father did have to close the store because people felt scared to come in. And of course, I made a joke about that as well. But, I'm a very funny guy, and that's what led me to motivational speaking. I'm very funny, I'm very charismatic, and people look to me for advice. Even Tony Robbins had called me a couple times and asked me, "What do I do, Tony?" And I said, "First of all, you're freakishly tall and you scare me." Then I would give him advice. So Tony Robbins comes to me to ask me about life questions, and usually I tell him to fuck off, man. I don't want to talk to you. But sometimes I'll take his call just to make fun of him. That's the kind of guy I am. I'm a giver.
Wow. Well, it's good that you were there for Tony.
Yeah, I give advice, and people take it. That's what I do.
Barney, who are your heroes? Who inspires you?
Oh, good question. Who are my heroes? Who inspires me? Well, first I got to say Joel Osteen, that preacher on TV. The way he can talk to people, really make it mean something to them. He touches their soul, and in return, he gets them to give him money. That is inspiring. Talking to people about God and giving, and then he doesn't give it all, and he just takes. He just takes and takes and takes. Doesn't give back. That hurricane shut his doors. It's your problem, not mine. Hey, give me the money. And the way he does that, it's just inspiring, very godlike. And then I guess Bernie Madoff, again, screwing over everybody, not caring about anybody else but number one. That's what it is. It's all about number one. He ruined his life, he ruined his marriage, his kids, so many people's lives, but he just didn't care. And that's when you got to say, I'm number one, forget the consequences. That's inspiring, self-care. I think of Bernie Madoff, self-care. That's what comes to mind.
Oh, so your heroes are people that care about themselves and want lots of money and really aren't so concerned about the consequences.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we're on the same wavelength here. That's I'm a giver who takes back. That's me. I'm a giver who gets a cut. That's all I'm saying. What's in it for me when I give you something? That's God. That's that's in the Bible. It's in Corinthians 16:96. So look it up.
It's in the Bible. Okay. Wow. Hmm. Okay. So what is it about Joel that, like, how does he connect to people? Is it like that one-to-one stare you down type of thing, or like, does he have some
Well,
words?
he talks about God, and then he makes it about himself, and then he's like, and give me money. God made money. That's every time I've seen him on TV. He talks about a little verse in the Bible, how it affects him personally, and how you should give him money.
Oh, okay.
Jesus wept, the shortest verse in the Bible. And he talks about, I cried one time when I was little. I had a turtle. It was killed. I cried. Give me money. That just touches you right here and in your wallet.
And okay,
It touches your heart and your wallet.
okay, so he really doesn't convince people; they just automatically give him money because he says stuff about God. All right.
I just got to get to that point, where people trust me enough to send me millions of dollars. It'll happen one day.
Okay. Wow.
By the way, I am selling Barney Juvenator, a new orange citrus fitness drink. So it's only $19.95 first payment, and you get a case of this. And I know the FDA doesn't allow it in USA, but it is available in other countries.
What's in it?
Citrus and other things.
And
Well, it's not
artificial
exactly.
flavors?
Citrus is too expensive. It's a form of citrus.
okay. A form of citrus. Oh, all right. So it's not FDA approved. It's just something you've
No, but you can still buy it online, under the table. And it's good for people who have no taste buds.
No taste buds. Okay. I've never met anyone.
It's got a bit of bitter taste
COVID,
when you first taste it, but very soothing after a while.
I guess that during these times that would be perfect for people that are feeling under the weather.
It's great for kids because it has just enough alcohol to calm them down. like that's great that you have heroes, but is there anybody that you just really detest that just rubs you the wrong way? Anybody I detest, it rubs me the wrong way. There's a lot of people that rub me the wrong way. Let me tell you right now. All right. Some of these things I can't talk about because I have several lawsuits pending. But there's this lawyer in Sydney who's after me for grifting and forgery. All right. So I wrote a couple bad checks. Is that illegal? Yes. But, this guy is after me. And then I got a DA in Arizona and LA after me saying my orange drink is poisonous, that is called internal damage, that the citrus is not citrus, it's some kind of acid. And what do I say? You know how much citrus costs these days? That's all I'm saying. I don't like do-gooders, goody two-shoes who think they know everything, who think they know the law, who think fake citrus causes stomach cancer. Where did that come from? Do they do tests? I didn't. Why should they? Is my forgery illegal? I don't know. I write checks with different names. Do I know what's going on? No. Do I try to cash them? Yes. Is that illegal? Who knows? I don't know about checks in banking. I just know I see it, blank check, I write something on it. Who's the bad guy here, you know? He's good at two shoes, always coming down on me. Well, what have I done? A lot of things, but, you know, is this the face of somebody who grifts and cons people for a living? Hold on. I'm getting a call from my lawyer. By text. Hold on. No, I was not. I am not currently in Sydney, Australia. Send. Okay, I am in Sydney, Australia, but currently not. He doesn't need to know that. All right. No, I'm really not in Sydney. I know you saw the plane ticket, but I'm not in Sydney. He saw the bathroom photo I put on Instagram. I won't reply to that. All right, so I just don't like do-gooders.
Okay, so no do-gooders for you, huh? And nobody after you for anything that you possibly may have done illegally or to harm people.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. And have you ever drank your citrus juice before? Have you ever tried it?
Are you crazy? I'm not. I mean, yes, it's quite an enjoyable, soothing drink I have every morning with my Vegemite toast.
Sounds delicious.
It really is. I wish I had some here. I mean, you feel it, you know. It's like, you know, when you shampoo your hair with dandruff control and you feel it working. It's like this citrus. When you drink it, you feel it. You feel it tingle your throat, burns your tongue, and then after you drink it, you can't really talk for about 15 minutes. I mean, you feel it.
It burns your throat and you can't talk for 15 minutes?
It's great. It's great. You know, the silence after you have a Sunday brunch and everyone's drinking that after they stop gagging, it's just great.
Oh my God. You must be the life of the party whenever you're around, especially when you have those drinks.
Yes, because I make sure I don't drink it so I can talk to them while they're quiet.
Oh, it's going Jonestown here. Okay. All right. Well, so Barney, it sounds like you've been really busy and active and doing a lot of things. That's good. And you're an entrepreneur with your citrus drink. So your success, how do you define your success? How have you been able to become the person you are today?
I was able to reach the highest peak because I keep my enemies in the lowest valley. That's what you got to do. You know, this lawyer who is after me here in Australia, you know, he comes after me, I come after him. You know, I spread all these rumors online about him, and now he's fighting those. You know, and then people come after me, I come after you. All right, you say my citrus drink kills people or maims them. I'm like, hey, where do you live? And then I go by and I egg their house. You know, that's what I do. I keep my enemies down low. I also do a podcast. I've got 3 viewers so far. It's very exciting. And it's a comedy podcast. It's very funny. I talk about life in general and things that surround my life and how my life is affected. Very exclusive. I get a standing ovation. At least they tell me they're standing after they listen to it. And it's very exclusive. I only let 3 people in so far because I only saw 3 people have asked to be let in. But you know, I'm hoping to expand that into more viewers. And you know, I live life, laugh, and I love. You know, I live my life to the fullest. I laugh at people's mistakes, and I love to meet a porn star.
What? I don't know where to go with that. Okay. All right. So, okay. So it's good to laugh at mistakes. Maybe that's. I'm not sure about other people's mistakes, but that's good that you have a strong viewpoint.
Well, I think it's the way I was brought up. I didn't go to school a lot. I learned my education was on the streets. Other people learning about books and history and stuff like that, and math and taxes and how to live with other people and how to act like a proper human being. I skipped all that. I learned my stuff on the streets. The streets of Sydney, Australia, where you had to be as hard as rocks to get through there, as hard as air is rock to get through the life through there. And I had a lot of hard knocks in my life, and I knock back. That's what I do. I get hard knock, and I get a harder knock back. And I think one of the reasons I turned out so great, I have nobody else to thank except me, myself, and I. There's no one looking out for Barney. I was able to, with my artistic talents, artistically create signatures. People saw that in me. They saw something in me. It's like, hey, that kid's good at writing stuff. Let's get him over here. Start working with a local community member. And got to start off doing that. Next thing you know, I'm doing 3-card Monte on the street, and it just like built on from that, I mean, I'm not a grifter, I'm a drifter. I drift in and out of people's lives. Maybe they had money when they first met. Maybe they don't when I leave them. Who knows what's to say? But I give my success to my determination and the way I cloud people's minds with facts and figures and able to extract from them different things. Sometimes it's somebody's essence, or sometimes I could get somebody's facial expression. I'm going to steal that from them. Most of the time it's money, but I give too. Like I said, I'm a giver who gets a cut.
All right, excellent. Sounds like being assertive really has helped you out quite a bit there. That's good. All right.
That's right.
Okay, cool. So Barney, how do you feel about the still life scene in our town?
Oh, still life. Hold on. Let me do a quick Instagram. Not in Sydney. Okay, I am in Sydney, but I'm not really in Sydney. Still life. Oh, I appreciate it. It's good. People being still but living. It's nice. It's not my cup of tea. I'm more of an artistic name writer and other types of forgery. But not for me. But art is art, and art is everywhere. So, God, I don't know. It's not my thing, but I appreciate it. It's nice. It's good.
Okay. So Barney, what do you do in Australia? Any adventures?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. I almost forgot. Right now, I'm running Barney's Walkabout. All right. It's a very exciting safari about all the wild, crazy animals. I mean, we got kangaroos, we got koalas. Koalas are very poisonous. I don't know if you knew this. Kangaroos have giant claws. I don't know if you knew that, and they kickbox. So they're very dangerous. We have, black widow spiders that are the size of your hand. We got snakes larger than me that are poisonous with arms. They grab you. It's true. So we got a lot of crazy animals out here. And so Barney's Walkabout, I have a scooter. It holds about 6. And we get on it, and I take them about 16 miles out. I have a post, Barney's Walkabout. We go all the way out there. And then I have lunch with my citrus drink and crackers. And then I leave them there. Then I come back, and then they got to walk back 16 miles, to find out where they are. And I leave clues sometimes if I remember, so they can get their way back there, So I've only lost about 6 people, but, it's a fun time. good for all ages. If I could fit them on my scooter, I can. And it's a lot of fun. So when you're in Sydney, Australia, look for Barney's Walkabout. You won't forget it.
You only lost 6. That's good. Some of them made it. So is it?
Some of them did make it.
So the reason why they walk back is really to get in touch with themselves, so they can meditate and experience what it's like to find their purpose. Is that
exactly? That is the true Australian experience. Doing a walkabout in Australia. It's not just walking a touristy trap. This is Australia. I leave them in the middle of nowhere, and they got to find their way back. Sometimes they follow the wrong trail, and they end up, who knows where. I don't know. I make them sign a disclaimer. But, again, that's not my problem. They got to follow the marked trails on the way back. And it's great. Usually I'm in different spots each time, so the people who come back can't find me. But if you ask around, you'll be able to find where it starts off. Barney's Walkabout, downtown Sydney. It's a gas. You really enjoy it.
wow?
And now, this is a little hint for you. If you do go, don't drink the citrus.
The crackers are okay though.
Don't eat the crackers.
Maybe that's why some of
They're
them
not really They're not really crackers, and I can't divulge at this time what they really are. But don't eat it.
The Vegemite. Okay, so well, it's good that some of them come back, but so is this like do these people? How do these people find you? How do they find the sign?
Oh, like I said, I have a big sign in the middle of downtown Sydney. It says,
Okay.
Barney's Walkabout, Venture of a Lifetime. And they're very excited. And I hype it up with animals and stuff. And then we drive out, leave. Sometimes it's more than 16 miles. Sometimes I'm too drunk and I go out a little further. But again, it's all in the adventure, in the blessing piece of Sydney, You know what you're going to find in Sydney. It's all the mirage of adventure in the outback.
Okay. All right, way cool. Well, hopefully, it would be interesting to hear what some of those people have said about that. So
That's
far.
part of the waiver. They're not allowed to mention it to anyone
Ever.
or write about
They
it.
weren't suspicious. Okay. All right. Those poor people. All right, thank you for that one. Okay. So Barney, can you tell me about your stand-up routine? How did you become a stand-up comedian? What's your act about?
That's right. I am a walkabout guide, and of course a citrus entrepreneur and a comedian. Not a lot of people know about my comic background. Like I said, I would tell jokes at my father's store, causing it to finally shut down. But after that, I didn't give up after that because Barney doesn't give up. And I worked on my act for a while, and I went to a local stand-up open mic night, and it was a big crowd. Everyone was a lot of fun, a lot of laughing involved. And I got up and told my jokes, and nobody got my jokes. My jokes is I heckle people. Is what I do. I get up there and I say, "Hey, you, what's with your hair? You're ugly." Oh, that one always gets me. Yeah, you're ugly. Anyway, so a lot of jokes like that. You see who I'm at. Hey, fatso, what's with your fat face? You're ugly. I bet you didn't see the punchline of that one coming up. So that's the kind of jokes I tell. So I'm just telling you jokes, like that. Hey, your ears are huge. You're ugly. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to stop myself. So you see the kind of comedy I have. It's hilarious. And so people didn't understand my comedy. They start yelling things. It's like, where's the jokes? You're not funny. Get off the stage. And I said, hey, you're ugly. You're ugly. Oh, I cracked myself up. See, I didn't see that punchline coming. But those are jokes I kind of tell, kind of like Stephen Wright, I'm full of one-liners, just one-liners, just throwing things out there, makes you think, makes you think. There's one guy, he had a gun and he's going to shoot me. And I said, you're ugly. Those are the kind of jokes that I tell, like Stephen Wright. We're on the same thing, like, one liners just all night long. Boom, you're ugly, you're ugly, you're ugly. And people, they just didn't get it. And so I was told not to come back. And threatened. I was threatened. I have it on tape. He threatened me not to come back. So, I took him to court and it's still pending. But, but I still got my podcast. I can't see the people and tell them they're ugly, but I assume they are and tell them they're ugly anyway. And so, between that and looking for working on my act, working on different jokes. So, same punchline, always the same punchline, but, working on different ways of approaching it. So that's where I am with my comedy right now.
So you said that you're a motivational speaker. So how would you motivate people? How do you motivate them?
Well, I used to use a gun, but I put it to their head and say, you're going to stop smoking. And, that's when I first started. I was green. I didn't know quite how to do it yet. And then I got arrested a few times. So I decided to take my gun out of my act, which I thought was a mistake, but, it was the law and I was on probation. And so I took the gun out of my act and I had to use my words of my mouth. And I couldn't call people ugly. For some reason, people don't like that. Because I was going to switch my comedy routine to motivational speaking without changing any of the words. Hey, you, stop what you're doing. You're ugly. I'm sorry. But you see, it wasn't working either. I guess telling people they're ugly is not motivationally helping them. So I had to rethink, I forgot everything I knew about motivational speaking and comedy and had to start over again. Read a lot of books. Well, okay, I didn't read a lot of books. I saw a lot of book covers. I read a lot of book covers. Well, that's a good cover. Oh, this is a really good cover. And I found that talking to people, finding what their problem is, and then making fun of it helps them. You're smoking, I make fun of them smoking. You smell like an ashtray. You look gross. And they usually start crying and they say they're going to stop smoking, Look, I do this. I make fun of them and they stop. So that's where I am right now. I motivate them by tearing them down, breaking all the barriers and leaving them there in a puddle of their own despair. And then they have to pick themselves up. So that's what I do.
Like tough love, kind of like.
Yeah, it's a tough love. Tough love. No wonder you don't do it. You're stupid and you're ugly. Oh, that punchline gets me. And usually when they're down and out is when they make the change. So yeah. I guess I'm a demotivational speaker. I demotivate them, but then they get motivated because I demotivated them. It's reverse psychology, it's probably a little above your head, but yeah, that's what I do.
And so have you had a lot of success with this approach of de-escalating?
No, not at all. But I don't get any second bookings, but I'm very popular with my first booking because I use Tony Robbins, except I take out his video. I just use his voice and pawn it off as me. And so they think they're getting a real, good, strong speaker. And then they get me. Like I said, I don't get a lot of second bookings, but my first bookings are very strong, very strong.
Oh my God. I hope we don't get sued by Tony Robbins. All right, so I think that's it for the questions. I really, really appreciate you taking the time to do this. It's really a pleasure to talk to you and to get your insight into more about who Barney is.
I wrote a promo for my citrus drink, and that's me playing the didgeridoo. And Bonnie's, what should we call it? What's it? Bonnie's
Homage to
citrus.
to Sydney. All right, you ready to move on to the next one?
We're being pretty silly, aren't we?
Yeah, I don't want to address them. I think that just I wanted to vomit, so I'm not going to even follow up on that.